In Ijeoha village lived Ubiageli, whose remarkable beauty commanded respect. She was the wife of Eze, a handsome, sharp-tongued man whose ambition lay not only in trading yams, but in flirting with anything wearing beads. The villagers often joked that Eze's eyes wander faster than the village goat. Obiageli's heart burned quietly each time he returned home smelling of another woman's powder. She tried every conventional means to win him, preparing the finest food, showering him with laughter, and using costly perfume. But nothing worked. His disloyalty continued unchecked. One night, sitting alone by the fire, her despair crystallized into dangerous resolve. Affection had failed. She knew she needed something absolute. Her thoughts whispered loudly, "If love cannot hold him, something stronger will." Desperation drove Obiageli to visit Mama Ekwu, the old woman who sold herbs behind the village shrine. Mama Ekwu, whose small eyes saw deep into the heart, knew the trouble instantly. Obiageli knelt, begging, "Mama, I want my husband to love me forever. I want him to eat and see only me." Mama Ekwu sighed. "Ah, child, love cooked with charm feeds the stomach but starves the soul." But Obiageli was resolute. She insisted she would pay anything. The old woman conceded, handing her a small clay pot of red powder. "When you cook his favorite meal, sprinkle just a little," Mama Ekwu cautioned. "If you use too much, his love will turn to madness." Obiageli smiled. Madness or not, as long as Eze stayed, she was satisfied. The potent aroma of yam porridge mixed with ogiri and fresh palm oil filled Obiageli's kitchen, making the whole village stop and sniff the air. She was preparing Eze's favorite meal, and the excitement of the charm's power thrummed in her chest. Reaching for Mama Iku's red powder, she focused her intent, but as she leaned over the simmering pot, her hand shook. More than just a little fell into the pot. She quickly stirred, oblivious to the excessive amount, but the gods had already witnessed the fatal sprinkle. When Eze finally returned home, she served him like a queen serves her king, her heart pounding against her ribs. "My husband, eat and bless my hands," she invited. He smiled, tore the yam, and took a large bite. "Ah, this food tastes like heaven," he exclaimed. The moment of triumph lasted only until Eze was halfway through the meal. Suddenly, his eyes grew wide with terror and confusion. He stared at Obiageli as though she had transformed into a ghost. "Why are there two of you?" he whispered, his voice echoing. He dropped his spoon, and a low, uncontrollable laugh bubbled up before turning instantly to frantic, piercing cries. The neighbors, hearing the strange sounds, rushed into the kitchen, demanding, "Eze, what's happening?" He pointed a shaking finger at Obiageli and screamed the terrifying truth. "She cooked me madness! She cooked me madness!" Chaos erupted. The horrified neighbors quickly carried the weeping, laughing Eze out of the house and toward the shrine. Obiageli followed, her ambition replaced by devastating horror. At the shrine, Izemuo, the priest, emerged, silencing the murmuring crowd with a sharp strike of his staff. His gaze was accusatory. "Who dares to feed love with poison?" Obiageli fell to her knees and confessed her deep mistake. "I only wanted his love," she cried. Izemuo's voice was stern. "Love is not owned, it is shared. You try to chain it with charm, but now it has chained your husband's mind." The crowd gasped. The priest delivered her sentence as a plea to the gods. If she truly repents, let her prove it by washing away what she cooked. The path to redemption led Obiageli to the riverbank. Under the clear moonlight, Obiageli sat by the riverbank, her broken husband beside her. Eze laughed and splashed water like a carefree child. She whispered her grief to the silent current. "Oh gods, I never meant to break him. I only wanted to keep him." The river trembled, and the soft voice of the river mother rose from the depths. "Child, love cannot be cooked. It must be earned." But her clean tears had earned her a measure of mercy. "Since your tears are clean, he shall remember you only when you forget yourself." Obiageli dipped her hand into the cold river and washed Eze's face. He blinked, confused. "Who are you?" he asked her, his voice void of recognition. Obiageli simply smiled sadly. "The woman who loved you too much." The next morning, Eze walked through the village, cured of his madness, but left hollow, free yet unchained. He smiled and greeted every neighbor. When Obiageli saw him and called his name, he turned, his eyes politely blank. "Ah, good woman, may the gods bless your husband." He had forgotten her completely. Ezenwol quietly pronounced the final truth. The gods took only what she tried to steal. From that day, Obiageli never spoke of charms again. She became quiet and solemn, dedicating her time to cooking food for the poor. When children whispered that she was the woman who had cooked love until it spoiled, she would only smile sadly and repeat her life's bitter lesson. When love turns to hunger, even the sweetest soup can burn the tongue. Years passed over Obiageli, wrinkling her hands and filling her eyes with gentle sadness. But her routine was unbreakable. Each evening, she sat by the river, watching the moon's reflection, waiting for a voice that once called her name with laughter. The villagers of Ijoha still tell her cautionary tale around their fires, warning that if you dare to cook with charm, your pot will whisper the secret. They say the river still remembers her tears, and on nights when the moon is full, you can hear the faint, soothing voice of the river mother whisper softly, repeating the ancient lesson, "Love cannot be cooked." The story serves as the final profound warning. When you season love with fear, you feed the gods instead of your heart.
I kindly plead with our first-time viewers to kindly subscribe to our channel. And to our dearest subscribers, thank you for joining us again. Please help to like, drop a comment, and click on the notification bell to always get our new videos. Thank you.